We're going to address a concept called percent yield. Percent yield is a comparison of how much we should have produced and how much we actually produced. So for example, if a recipe for cookies is supposed to make 2 dozen, then we would say the theoretical yield, if the theoretical yield is 2 dozen, we would say the theoretical yield is 24 cookies. But suppose I, eat some cookie dough while I'm making it, and instead of getting 24 cookies, I only get 21 cookies. We would say my actual yield is 21 cookies. That another name for the actual yield might be the lab yield. The theoretical one is always determined from calculations. So based on how much reactant we had, how much product should we get? The actual amount is typically what's produced in a lab or a kitchen. So if I'm computing percent yield is going to equal actual over theoretical times 100. In this cookie example, it would have been 21 divided by 24 times 100. It would have been an 87.5% yield. Let's take a look at a problem that uses actual numbers or actual chemical reaction. 90.4 grams of copper 2 oxide were used and the reaction only produced 8.35 grams of N2. Calculate the percent yield. This number here, the 8.35, is the actual amount of N2 we got. What I need to do is I need to use this to calculate the theoretical amount of N2, same as I would do any other stoichiometry calculation. So starting this, 90.4 grams of copper 2 oxide, 90.4 grams, I'm going to divide by the molecular weight of copper 2 oxide, CuO, is 63.5 plus 16, or 79.5. So 90.4 divided by 79.5 gives me 1.14 moles of CuO. Now we need to calculate the moles of N2. So I'm going to take the moles of copper oxide and I'm going to multiply by 1 over given. N2 has a coefficient of 1, CuO has a coefficient of 3. Gives me 0.379 moles of N2. But I need to compare masses, so I'm now going to get the grams of N2 by doing the moles times the molecular weight, which is 28 because it's N2. Gives me a theoretical yield of 10.6 grams of N2. So to calculate the percent yield, I'm going to do actual over theoretical. Actual over theoretical times 100, or 8.35 divided by my answer times 100 gives me 78.7% yield. You should get a number less than 100 unless something's either wrong with the problem or you made a mistake.